There's very few black men who speak or who would be called leaders that I agree with. However, there are some quote unquote black leaders or black speakers or black policymakers that I find no fault with. One of them is Dr. Claude Anderson. Now, have you heard Dr. Claude Anderson say when a white child is born, he is born with 87% of what he needs in life? And when a black child is born, he is born with 0% of what he needs in life. Now, I've even spoken to white people about this as well, because some white people are like, some white people have parents like this as well. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about inheritance. I'm talking about mother, father, and money. That's what I'm talking about. It is poor people who say, and it's the poor parent, and I don't mean just money, I mean mentally broke, mentally poor, psychologically inept. But here is my criticism of this. They don't care. These are people who have children, and when the child comes of age, 18 in our society today, they give the child absolutely no money. What are you supposed to do? The perfect parent is supposed to nurture and take care of the child, discipline the child, give the child tasks that the child can handle at the various ages and stages that a child goes through. And when the child comes of age 18, the parent is supposed to give the child a portion of their inheritance. They have money coming, right? Because you as a parent have been the squirrel who has been saving for the winter. Winter is coming, right? As the saying goes on the TV show, winter is coming. You as the squirrel, as the parent, have to shore up and store up your nuts and your leaves and your branches and your whatever, right? And instead of spending your money on Gucci tennis shoes for a 6-month-old child, I could just shake a damn freaking parent that does that. Black people are famous for this. Old Navy, Oshkosh Bagosh, Gucci, Jordans on a 6-month-old. A 6-month-old goes to bed and is another size the very next day, spending $200 on tennis shoes. Really? Wrap that baby in a blanket and put those $200 into a savings account for this child. When he comes of age at 18 and he has to go to college, you then are supposed to spend a part of his inheritance and pay for his schooling. Now, it has to be something that we can use, that I can use. I need engineers, I need doctors, I need lawyers, I need physicists. That's what I need. I don't need singers. If I wanted a singer, I could spin around, get dizzy, and pluck one out of my neighborhood. Don't need a rapper. Don't need a dancer. I need engineers, mathematicians, physicists, mechanical engineer, computer engineer. This is what I need. That's what I want. You're about to send your child to school in January, to college? That's what I need. Don't let me catch not a one of you in liberal arts. You don't go over there unless it's a requirement for your degree in another school at the university. And when you get ready to retire, then you're supposed to gift the inheritance to the child, and the child is supposed to take care of you. That's how it works. And let me say this, black people. If you have some money, if you actually have some money, and the child is going to inherit some of it, you should be thrown into hell if you're trying to give some to charity. We need every red cent to go to black people. Why is a white child born with 87% that he needs in life? Because he's already set for inheritance. He's already set for life. The black child how is the black child starting from zero? Because the black child has to raise money to buy his car. He has to raise money to buy his house. He has to raise money to set himself up in college. He has to do that by himself. He has to start from zero. Why are you even here? Why'd you have a child? What good are you? You're useless. Times are hard. Well, you should have stayed home with your mom and dad until you were about 30, saved up, and then move into a house that you paid cash for. That is how it is done. Do you not see these Mexicans living 5 families? Count them. 5 different families not related in one house. I managed a store and my employees were Mexican. I didn't hire them. The head manager hired them. They told me they all, we're talking about 6, 7, 8, 9 people, lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. Black people can't even stand to have sleep in a twin bed in the same room. I said, well, how do you use the car? Well, okay, we coordinated everything to use the one car. And when we need to, we use the bus. We make it work. And you do all this on minimum wage? Oh yeah, minimum wage. Oh yeah. Not only that, we send about 80% of our money back to Mexico. You don't know the game, black people. What the hell are you doing? Well, he's got to get out of my house when he turns 18. What good are you? You might as well have murdered him in your womb. You're useless. Useless. Well, I'm just a woman. I can't. You're useless. You're a useless human then. Those days are over. You can't claim being a woman is holding you back. Those days are over. You're useless. Well, I don't know. We can't. There ain't nobody paying you to go to college. Then what good are you? You are useless. Well, I only had a minimum wage. What do you mean? You didn't look for a better job each and every year? My friend said he's been working at this place for 2 years and it pays well. I said, you need to be looking for a better job over and over and over. And you need to make more and more and more at each job. That is what you're an employee and you want to remain an employee. You are supposed to hopscotch yourself into management until you get the $150,000 job as a manager. That's how the game works. You don't stay at the same job. This is the United States of America. They don't care about you. They don't want your loyalty. Well, it has really good benefits. Okay, then you find another job that pays more, that has the same or better benefits. That's what you do. You have experience under your belt. You have certifications. That's how you do it. I know families who are permanently on minimum wage. Then they're stupid. They're dumb. They have failed at life. In the meantime, the management class is traveling all over the United States looking for a better job. Well, I can't do that. Yes, you can. There are thousands and thousands of job openings. Because what does the application say? I need somebody with a math degree or job equivalent. So you look in the job equivalent section of the skills that you have and you get yourself a better job. I don't want to hear I'm poor. I don't want to hear that excuse. I don't want to hear that excuse. You're a failure at life if you use that excuse. You're useless as a parent if you are not steadily trying to increase your income and your wealth. And you're horrible as a parent if at 18 your child has absolutely nothing to speak of. You might as well have kicked your child out at the age of 2 years old and let them fend for themselves, because that's as useful as you are. Because perhaps at the age of 2 years old, they could have been set on the road to learn something, how to survive by themselves. So by the time that they are 18, they got it down. And they may have gotten a job at the age of 12, working under the table, and by the age of 18, been running a store, have some money saved up. This is how stupid people are. Black people. I ain't inherited nothing from my mama. Then your mama's useless. Your father's useless. Useless. They might as well have killed themselves. That's as much use. Well, they've got God. And what has God given you at 18? Nothing. Nothing. Quit it. Quit it with, we got the love of family and the love of God. No, quit it. That's nothing. That's useless. This is 2015 United States of America. The economy is going to the trash and the dollar is about to collapse. You are behind the scale. You are under the statistics. Dr. Anderson is telling you. White children are born with 87% of what they need in life. Born with 87% of what they need in life. Black children are born with 0% because they have failures as parents. You fail at life if you don't even understand money. And every time I try and make an actual money video, nobody watches it because you're not interested in knowing about money. I'm giving it to you for free. To pass my level 1 certification for the financial analyst, I have to pay about $300 and something just to take the test. And to study for that test, I could pay upwards of $5,000. And I'm giving you a smidgen of the information for free, no charge. But one of the viewers gave me a great idea, put it behind a paywall, and then those people who really want it can pay for it. can pay for the information. And that's what I'm going to do. So if your child is turning 18 and wants to go to college and he's getting nothing from you, you are a failure of a parent. You are useless. This is not the country of love and hugs. This is not that country. This is a country of what can you do for me? This is a country of how much money can you spend? What's the difference between Ivy League and a lower class university? Getting into the Ivy League, it guarantees you success at life. It doesn't even matter what you do in there, because when you come out, you said, I graduated from Yale. Where did you graduate from? Yes, step aside. The corner office is mine, and I'm headed to be president of the corporation one of these days. Stand back. You're of the working class. Get out of my way. And what does it take to go to Ivy League? Money. It doesn't take love. It doesn't take hugs. It doesn't take Jesus. I know you don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. Jesus has done nothing for the black race. Let's think about that one. Black ministers have done nothing but sold you down the river over and over and over. Well, they're men of God, right? That's what you said. They're men of God. So why are they selling you down the river? You can hear from Dr. Anderson himself. Black people were the richest they have ever been. In what year? 1920. What was going on in 1920? The Great Depression? Get out of Dodge. Are you kidding me? The Great Depression. Black people were the richest they've ever been. Owned the most land, owned the most businesses. Their per capita income was outrageous. And their children inherited money. That is the biggest travesty in the black community. Children not inheriting anything from their parents. Failure after failure after failure. It doesn't even matter that the father made money at some point. When it comes time to inherit, he's got nothing. Or he's so stupid that he donates it to charity. He donates it to his church. And the pastor has the audacity to come into that black man's house and say, why don't you put the church in your will? If that's not a kick in the balls, I don't know what is. If the church is looking out for the community, why is the church always has its hand in your pocket? The church takes up the most valuable real estate in the black neighborhood. $1 million corner spot. The black neighborhood gets absolutely nothing out of that spot anymore. You can't open up a business. You can't hire people. You can't pay people. Nobody receives a salary from it. There's no goods and services traded on that spot. Oh, but it's not just one church. On each corner, you have a church after church after church after church. And who benefits? The pastor. That's it. That's who benefits. And not only that, we have noticed that then the pastor moves out and lives in the white area. There you go. You are being played for fools. Christianity was used to ensure slavery continued for an extra 30 years. Black slaves were beat, mutilated, put to death to ensure that they became Christians. If the Christian God were so powerful, he could have snapped his fingers and the entire world would be Christian. If Christianity were the answer, and Jesus, Serapis Christo, go look that word up, was the answer, he could have snapped his fingers and slavery would have been over. Mutilated. Not only that, they then plucked one black slave out of the group and made him the pastor of the black church because they didn't want you in the white church. You had to be Christian, but you couldn't come up in their church. Mutilated, terrorized, beat, tongue cut out, uterus cut out, dick cut off, balls cut off. You will be a Christian. But my God is 100,000 years old. No, you're going to serve this new white God. And here's your minister. And here, minister, is what you're going to tell these black slaves. And these churches are now taking up $1 million spots in the black neighborhood. And what does black parents tell their children? You must serve this Jesus Christ. I told you in a former video that I was to be a priest at one point, and I stopped that because the more I learned about Christianity, Catholicism, and learning that the Bible was completely revamped in 1600, and what we see today doesn't even remotely resemble the original scripts that they have in the Vatican, in the Middle East, that they took out entire books in the 7th and 9th century, and in the revision in the 16th century, doesn't even resemble. But you serve ignorantly, you keep serving and saying, oh, God has done so much. What has God done for you? What? He woke me up this morning. No, you woke you up this morning. It's called biology. Who do the Muslims say woke them up this morning? Allah. Who do the Buddhists say woke them up? Buddha. Who do the Shinto say woke them up? Amaterasu. And you will defend to your death to say that Jesus is not Allah and that Allah is not Amaterasu and Amaterasu is not Buddha. So if they're not the same person, and you'll defend that to the death, then 99% of the religions in the world have to be wrong, right? They can't all be right. And I'm telling you, I've already studied Christianity. I know Christianity's wrong. Know it for a fact. Know its history. That's why I dropped off being a priest, because I found out that it was completely false, completely made up, completely used. And you have a church in the black community on the $1 million property in every black neighborhood. And the parents of black children say, I offer you nothing in life, but I'm going to offer you the slave master's religion. That's what it is. It's nothing more. I'm going to offer you the slave master's religion. That's all I'm going to offer you. That does nothing. And not only that, not only am I going to offer you the slave master's religion, I'm going to instill in you that you must give up your money that I did not give you and give it to the church over and over and over. The church that sits on $1 million property and people starve next door. People go crazy because nobody comes and visit them because they're sitting up in bed sick. Widows, widowers, orphans. We have women going to the government to be fed. The pastor is getting $1 million a year, but Shaniqua has to go get welfare, has to go get WIC, has to go get food stamps. And Shaniqua is now so messed up because she learned what she learned from a horrible mother herself who hates men because she was retarded and so retarded that she didn't know how to approach men or choose men, or never took the time to say, hey, maybe I shouldn't have sex with every Tom, Dick, and Harry that comes along, and have Shaniqua. And what do I give Shaniqua when she's 18? Nothing. What does Shaniqua give her children when they turn 18? Nothing. Oh, I give them the love. Now, so Shaniqua goes and she gives tithes on money she doesn't even earn. So now the church has an income of $20 million a year. The pastor gets $1 million. Now they have to pay lights, services, any functions that they have there, they have to pay for all of that. And Shaniqua is on welfare next door, giving tithes and offering because she doesn't know how to live a life. She's a failure as a human. And they're all up in the church, just failing. And the slave master's religion is being practiced by the descendants of slaves who don't need to practice the religion at all. That's why so many blacks turn to Islam. They thought, well, they practice it in Africa, it must be our original religion. No, it's not. Islam came after Christianity. It wasn't never an African religion. They're just as ignorant as you are. Oh, don't worry. I'm not just bashing Christianity. I'm gonna bash them all. Jehovah's Witness, Seventh-day Adventists, Holy Rollers, Protestant, Southern Baptists. The slave master's religion being practiced by people who don't need to practice it. We got white people praising Baha'i. They don't care. We got white people being Hare Krishna. They don't care. But you're up there practicing the slave master's religion religiously, fervently. And this is what you offer your children. And then you wonder, it's so hard for all of us. It's not so hard for all of you. You don't take the time to sit down and even think about how much taxes you pay each year. Sales tax, income tax. And you offer nothing for inheritance for your children. They turn at 18 and they get a swift kick in the butt and you despise I hate it.